Patience with the God for kids, for teens, um, chapter 14 on school life. Question: why are we taught facts and not ideas in school? Tristan 14. I find a kid that asks this question, I guess that he's very evolved for his age. Because not all kids of this age, at the age 14 or say 16 below, are able to understand all those concepts about our conventions and system. Answer: because ideas are dangerous. If one wants to keep things the way they are, and your society does, most societies are deeply invested in seeing things stay the way they are. Of course, of course. Surely they surely they do. And how they do this, that's why nothing changes, because nobody the hearts here are not willingly to make a change, to move, to think differently, and to change, not to follow but to change. And as long as you are following blindly systems um, that not says what we are, and that does not serve us in many aspects, like um, societal aspects, family, um, academic, even in science, then will never change. We will always be regressive because we are following the Archon's system, the demiurge system. That's why I'm different. I was born at the middle of 60s, and I'm totally different. I'm not a old school like many people would say. Oh, I'm not an old school. In fact, my sons and daughters who were born in the 90s and in the 80s are rather more backwards, warped in thoughts than I. When it comes to conventions or old traditions which does not serve us anymore. So just like a fabric, a puzzle, we need to take the bricks which does not serve us anymore and just accept and keep those who serve us. Okay, so not every people is ahead of their time. Not even Aquarian, like they say. I have an Aquarian 33-year-old younger daughter, and like she's more. How to say? She's a herd. She's a herd. Where there is, uh, hypochondria, hypochondriac behavior, she will follow. She's totally hypochondriac, and she relies too much on conventional kind of medications, and so on and so forth. If you want to ask her to do have the vaccination, she'll completely wrong because she's that backward in time. And she was born at the 90. Okay, she's 33-year-old. And they will call us different people a misfit, a person who doesn't fit into society. And I don't want to. I don't want, because I think ahead of my time, you know, I think ahead of my time. So most societies are deeply invested in seeing things stay the way they are, because the way they are is what makes the society a society. I would say more a conventional society of the herds. A society between parentasas is nothing more than a group of people formed around a particular way of seeing things and accept things and following the blind herds. It's like cows and bulls following goats and chickens to the abysm. At least the chicken can fly. What can the cows do? And the bovines in general. So these people share traditions, mutually created institutions, activities, and interests. Anything that threatens those traditions, institutions, and interests must be opposed. It certainly can't be taught. Yeah, must be followed. In the other hand, must be followed, not contested, not transformed, not changed. That's why I don't want friend anybody because there's no people who think like me. And many would say, thanks God I don't think like you. Yeah, really. Thanks the devil that you don't think like me. Because if you did, things will be much better in this planet. So thanks to the devil, you don't think like me. Because I don't want to have a society where nobody cares for nobody. And I will say nobody, not just the human primates, Homo sapiens, but the animals as well. The animals welfare should pretty much be involved in the well-being of a society. Nothing is more threatened to all of this, of course, than new ideas. Children are therefore encouraged to learn, but not to think too much. Yeah, they say don't think, they follow. Like you want to contest the doctor want to harm you, want to kill you. If you contest them, you ask, they will say, who is the urologist here? It doesn't matter. You are the urologist, but doesn't mean because I don't know. Because you are the urologist, you have a degree, doesn't mean that you know better than me. I don't think so because I'm different and I'm not stupid. And I don't want to dig my grave so early here at this place. No way. If I have to die, I die there in my place. I don't have to die somewhere else. And I know and I feel that these people are not being honest and not being um, they are not being sincere towards your well-being. They are thinking about experiments. They are thinking about use your body for experiments to keep on practice. Because if nobody does the procedure that they have to do, where will stay their learning? Where will stay their practice? They need to keep on practice, right? After all, practice makes perfect. And if you don't keep on practice what you will learn, then over time, unless you do it for dummy, do it for dummy. Don't do it for living body. And then you end up killing that person. It's not fun, you know. We choose one thing, say, no, this procedure is better. No, I think this one. Why? Because costs more time to do the operation, and it's more money, and more time, and better for them because it's a more complicated procedure. And they think I'll follow them. They will wait for me forever. I make them lose faith in me because at the right time, the X time, I don't turn up. They think they can mess with this person. I'm no more than 7 year old. I'm no longer that. That almost died because of those stupid procedures. I rather die naturally than die people poking me, probing all over. That is carnage to me. So nothing is more threatened to all of it is, of course, than so thinking involves the consideration of ideas. Learning involves simple memoralization. So see the two different concepts. If you gotta think, you gotta do something. And then you don't want to do this because you allow other people to think for you because you're not going to make nothing um, Nothing much. No efforts. No efforts at all. No effort at all. Think for me. Where do I pay? When should I pay? How to do it? Do for me because I just don't want to think. That's how people think in this planet. All right? Mm. It's the same thing with children. Children are not alive in narcissist parents. Children are not allowed to think. Is what the narcissist parents want. And I'm not talking about teenager. Teenager can say because at 17 I was already out. Not because my mother was a narcissist, much to the contrary. I have a beautiful, wonderful mom. I'm so grateful for her. She wanted me to learn on my own. She would not sit down there and then judge me or beat me because I did something stupid for her. And on her understanding. Oh, and she was born in 1927. My mother was an old school, as they say. In some ways, because she was from that generation, she's somewhat old school when it comes to conventional medicines. But because kind of, she was a bit of hypochondriac, and I never, ever like drugs. I don't like when she give to me, I will go there and spit on the backyard. I spit inside the toilet. I don't want to take. So in this sense, she was kind of very conventional and still work with mentality. I was already much involved and I knew what works or not for me. Since young, I knew. I was a very smart kid. I was like a indigo kid. I knew how to take care of nature. I tend to my mother gardens um, to have roses, to have pine trees, to have plants, to have garden, to have, have plantation of fruits and veggies. I tend all to it for her with love since I was 7 year old. Very smart, nice, wonderful kid I was. Of course, I'm not, perfect. Neither do I want to be perfect because we don't need to be perfect in this world filled with people who doesn't deserve your perfection. Mm. So, thinking involves the consideration of ideas, learning involves simple memorization. So, many parents are narcissists, especially so those born in the 80s um, above. They are quite narcissist. They don't want their children to think. I see the kids, I really pity them. Really, I pity those children. I wish I could be raising them on my own so that they will be protected and have everything they wanted to. Doesn't matter what they turn up to be tomorrow. What matters is that they are happy today as they deserve as kids. But some parents are really narcissists. I have seen a lot. The kids are not allowed to think for themselves. Oh, girl, come here. Your teacher said that you are very quiet. There's a narcissist mother here where I am who says that to her kids. Why are you so quiet? Why don't you talk? When the girl babble, the teacher will say, this kid talks so much. She's a bubble box at school. And then the mother say, why you talk? Why cannot you just keep your mouth shut? So you are dissing your kids for nothing instead of understand a grade 2, primary 2 kid. You are not dealing with a 17 or 16. You are dealing with a 8-year-old girl or a 9-year-old. Okay? So be more nice to your kids because tomorrow your kids are watching you. And tomorrow they will charge from you. They will charge. That's exactly what it involves. Memorize the presidents, memorize the capitals, memorize the battles here are the facts. Memorize them. This is how it is. Now, just get that. What makes this all the more challenging is that the facts are rarely really facts. Yeah, it's their story, their his story, and not his story, but his story. How they wanted it to be presented to the mass. There is unvarnished statements of what is so, of what occurred. Too often, they are particular interpretation of what is so and what occurred, designed to justify and solidify a particular point of view. It's the point of view what your elders seek to teach you, not simply bare facts. Thus, it is that children of the human race can have entirely different understanding of what happened and why. When Japan placed its soldiers in Korea, or when the United States placed its soldiers in Vietnam, or when Israel placed its soldiers in the occupied territory of Palestine, depending upon whose children are listening to whose parents and reading whose accounts of his story. In this way, the sins of the fathers are visited upon the sons even onto the 70th generation. And the worst part is that it's not that the parents had to be like this, but like that the children had to follow suit. Why you are so stupid to copy your parents? You don't have to be their carbon copy unless they have been a wonderful parents. I have a wonderful mom. If I want to copy her, it's okay. To my advantage of my kids, I will be protective and a very much bountiful. I mean, I will provide for them everything they want or need, not just what they need, but what they want, like food, clothes, how many clothes they want, how many toys they want. I just give. If I have the money, I will give. You want one truck, toy truck, I will give you 10, 20 toy truck. You want one bicycle, I give you two, three, four, five. I'm like that. I'm full of abundance and generosity. Okay, that's okay if you follow your mother this way. If you follow what is good to your mother, but from your mother, about your mother. But the problem is that they follow some stupid people follow their parents' negative traits, like be narcissist toward their kids, even don't feed their children so much. If they give something to the children, they'll throw in their faces, and they want something in return. It will always be conditional, or else they don't want the kids to play games. They buy Nintendo, but don't want the kids to play. They don't want the kids to play for some time after school. They don't keep even a TV on their hall. They want to torment these kids mentally, if possible, also physically wise, and they barely feed these children, barely feed. Don't take them go out, prohibit them from going to playground, you know. There are parents like this where I am, a lot of them, a lot. And I feel for these children. I feel for them, and then the authorities wait for something drastic, more drastic to happen. A very big tragedy or catastrophe before they do something about it. If the children complain in school, nothing is done toward these erratic parents. So the problem is not that they follow the father, that they follow the father's good example, positive traits, but that they follow the negative. Usually the boys will follow the father negative traits only. not the mother's good traits, and so does their daughters. That's the thing about Homo sapiens, which I don't understand about all of you. I really don't understand. You're so, you cannot think yet, man. You have the R complex of the reptoid factor, the R complex, which is a pity. Great. So I'm locked the school system that teaches me how to make the same mistakes that my parents made. Terrific. It doesn't have to be that way. You don't have to think like them. You don't have to repeat those mistakes. God, exactly, exactly. Why you follow suit? You say you hate your father for all that your father have done to you if you are a boy, and you hate your mother for all bad that your mother have done to you if you are a girl, but you still follow them, copy them. Why? Why you copy? What's negative about them? Discard what's negative about them and embrace only the positive sides of your parents in a society at large, so that you will be doing yourself a favor. Look around you and see which parts of how the world is you don't agree with. Then investigate the causes of things being their way and decide to do something about them that could change things. Exactly. It could be said that there are essentially two kinds of people on your planet: the repeaters or the followers, and the changes and the transformers. Okay, the repeaters and the changes, the followers, and the transformers. The repeaters are those who look at the past and repeat what was done in them. Like you follow your stupid father who beat up the children like they were some kind of innate object, and then you grown up, you have your pets and your children, and you repeat the same stupid, savage, barbarian mistake. Barbarian is a term which means foreigner, but I would say savage, wild mistake of your father or your mother. Your mother did drugs or drink alcohol or smoked. You grown up, you're gonna do the same, but doesn't mean that because they had some bad habits that they were totally bad, because you don't have to have bad habits like addictions in order to be bad. In fact, many of those mothers or fathers who doesn't do any of those things are the violence and oppressors one that I have watched, I have seen. And if I talk, they don't like what I say. They ask me not to uh, interfere, interfere in their raising their children, or that they would not have done the same as I did. Like, okay, maybe I was very permissive towards my kids, which I would not do anything different because I believe in freedom, so that tomorrow you will not have to charge me for that. You'll have to question me and charge me for not have given you freedom that you wanted. Okay? So I already prepare myself in the past for the future, so that I will have my consciousness clean. And that's the best thing that you can do. That you haven't abandoned your children, that you haven't been cruel towards them, that you haven't been irresponsible or even unbearable mother or father. The changes repeaters are those who look at the past and repeat what was done then. The changes are those who look at the past and change what is being done so as not to repeat it. Exactly. Why not think different? Why you go on round and round and round like some kind of stupid drunk person? Go around in circles. You can become one of the changes. And the one of the first things we can change is how schools work. That is one of the few things you would have to change if you wanted to change anything at all. For what you learn, you become. And it's very hard to unbecome that. I don't know why people come from the Occident and put their children in these certain countries that are so oppressive and a dictator. I think these parents are really stupid. They only care about themselves and money. It is very hard to unbecome that. How can you change schools? There may not be much you can do to change your school this year or next, or maybe not even the near future. But you can change your experience of school. How? If the kids do it, they will get grounded. Not just at school, but at home. And it's a toxic environment. You know, too much noise. That's why I don't like. If the teacher come with noise with me before never mind, they're still young, they will learn. But you must start now. No, don't worry, they're okay, I'm okay, so why you worry? Just be carefree. Look at it a new way. See it, however imperfect, for what it is. A stepping stone that life has put in place for you to get exactly where you choose to go. Then use your new, more positive attitude to suggest some changes that you think could make the school better. Even in the least democratic schools, there should be some mechanism in place for doing this. Have fun with it, be a little daring, but try not to be overly critical or take yourself too seriously, or you will defeat yourself before you begin. Pass on to your parents to do some control at your school system. And as you grow older, to anyone in your community who will listen, the best suggestions you have for changing your school. Will they listen? Not an oppressive dictator community, continent, country, culture. No, they won't. They won't listen to the kids. In fact, they will, together with the parents, they will punish these kids severely because these Homo sapiens, simians, they cannot think properly. Said the kids will get all the brunt of um, one fluid system that already has failed. And they even send their kids when their kids is sick. Yeah, they send the kids is burning with fever. They will send. I even tell my son that and my daughter. I will scold them if they do that. And then if they do this to their kids, I say, "Hey, hello. Did I stop you from going out and be free and happy? No. But then my father did. Your father, but I don't care about your father. Did I do? I took risk for you. I answered for you all. Didn't haven't I? So why are you doing this to your kids now? Why? Because you are listening to your spouse. You know, like the kids are really bad with the COVID or whatever. They send the kids is stupid from the teachers down to the school system to these parents. They are really stupid. Really stupid. I don't understand why they have this kind of primate mentality. They are so stupid, like chimpanzee character or something like that. Weird. Got an idea? Got an ideas? You could try telling them not to emphasize facts in your school, But to read the concepts, you could invite them to focus on the three core concepts of holistic living. First, awareness. Second, honesty. Third, responsibility. So awareness, honesty, and responsibility. I think this all starts from school, from home. Be aware of your duties, okay, without pushing too much. Be honest to yourself and others. And also be kind to the environment. Be responsible. Don't allow your kids to mess around there on the street. I mean, when I say mess, I mean litter. Throw rubbish all over. It's not civil to do this. You could suggest that they build the entire curriculum around these concepts. Do not abandon reading, writing, and arithmetic, nor any of the other academics, but rather use them as a tools with which to illustrate and live these concepts. You could encourage them to create a program that includes many areas of human experience to explore, such as self-discovery and self-expression, sharing power, fairness, economics, sustainable living, honoring diversity, utilizing differences, celebrating sexuality. Oh, great! And this includes what? LGBT, LGBT. Creative thought and the unity of all life. I don't see why they should teach sexuality in school unless it's for their own good. Like say, don't engage in sexual activities before time. Do it with in a better yet, hold it until you are ready for it. Hold before you regret it for life. Before an unwanted pregnancy occur. Don't do it. Just hold on for a while. Think of your school force and other maybe duty that you have to do in society and towards your house and your parents. Tell them that if they teach these subjects, they won't have any problem keeping students in school or holding their attention while they are there. And while you are at it, tell them to try getting rid of grade levels that separate people by age, allowing students to fluidly group themselves by interests and passions, and abolish tests and scores and marks and grades and measures, letting the joy in each child be the measure, and the sparkle in each eye, and the excitement in each walk be the best, of whether brains are being stimulated or numbed. And lastly, why not suggest giving students a say in how the school is run, including them among the decisions makers in some real way, not in a showcase where, yeah, there is a continent who likes to push the kids to succeed and they segregate them by, not say age, but by grades. And they create a elitism in the process. They create elitism. The kids will be segregated by grade. Let's say if you are grade B, C, you will be an outcast. The grade A kids will not mix up with grade B and C. And then they will create this caste. This is very predominant in a continent called Asia. Mm. And they are doing nothing to stop the bullshit. I have a granddaughter now, younger one. Yeah, the youngest no, no, she's not the youngest. I'm the youngest is a 2-year-old from my daughter, from my older daughter. My older son, 9-year-old. So she's telling me that In school, they those who are grade A doesn't want to mix up with her because she's grade B. And some of her marks she got grade B. And she was ostracized and bullied because of that. And they say that they don't want to mix up with her because they see her as stupid. I told her, child, you are not stupid. They are just jealous of you and discriminate you because you are different. And then you're gonna be different. You are different from them, I see. And then maybe you're gonna be more clever than them, more aware of many things in life than they do. So do not be disturbed by these concepts, by those remarks towards you, these vile remarks, because you are worth more than that. And a grades alone does not define your intelligence. I can see that you're gonna be an intelligent child, but you're gonna be a bit slow in your pace, but that's okay because you're still 9 year old. And but then as you grown up, you will be more mature than them. And that's what matters most, not grades and not school. Okay, not school marks. Just be yourself. Don't care about what they think about you. And then who knows, as you grow older, you're gonna find somebody who accepts you for what you are. And I mean, when I say somebody, I'm not talking about romance here. I'm talking about she gonna get a friend, maybe a Eurasian friend like her, who will love her for what she is without all the separatism and discrimination because she looks like the grandmother, because my children is half Asian and their spouse is Asian, so the kids is more Asian. But this particular girl um, followed me. She took after my genomes. It's my older son, my second son, in fact, child. And that's what I told her. You don't care about those people. Just be yourself. Don't need them. When you don't need them, what they say, what they think about you, what they do doesn't matter. Her mother, on the other hand, will say that because she's no good, I ever saw the mother shout at her because she's no good, because she asked for it. Always you're not good enough. That's why her Indonesian Afro mother. I saw she shouted at her, and I don't like that. I even want to go back because I cannot take this because if I really start, then I'll say a lot of things which is gonna hurt many people. But I told my granddaughter, you talk, try talk to your teacher. Okay, you need help. Try talk to your teacher because the girl is getting paranoid and she's very, very depressed and paranoid at the point of stalking her friends and say a lot of things to them on WhatsApp and on TikTok. She's really angry, very, very angry and depressed. Understand? Because also the parents are not there to help, to guide those children. Because if I have to talk to the parents, the father, the mother, they will not understanding the child point of view. Instead, they will side with the other parties who join together to bully their daughter. And because their daughter is different, I want them to go to a very racist country somewhere for them to feel in their shoes what is to go through it. Wow, what a school that would be. And one of the first things I would change is homework. Why do we have to have 3 hours of homework after 7 hours of school? Because they're stupid, backward Homo sapiens. And one of the first things I would change is homework. Why do we have to have 3 hours of homework after 7 hours of school? Wade 15, Houston, Texas. In my time, I had only 4 hours of school, which was great. I have from 7 to 11. Next time would it be 11 to 3. And next time would be 3 to 7 p.m., which will be was great, was great. In 1 hour PE session. It was great. And there was party in school, foods, etc. and parties. I love it so much. Not nowadays. Children are overworked. They have CCA as they go to grade 4 and 5. They come back home late from morning until 7 p.m. And then the parents won't understand and push the kids harder, giving them extra curricular activities like tuition or extracurricular activities in school, um, ECA, which is very pleasurable. I don't understand what kind of life is that for this kid. What kind of beings are you brought up, raising up? Robots, androids? I really shake my head. I don't belong to this planet like this, to this kind of people. I'm so different. Wow, what a school that would be. And one of the first things I would change is homework. So, Wade 15 in Houston, Texas. That is a question that even adults are looking at now. A recent study by the University of Michigan suggests that young children are seeing up to 3 times as much homework as children did 20 years ago. Correct. Very correct. I have very little homework, all once done at school, and very happier and are less stressed. If you feel that your homework load is way too heavy, speak to your parents about that and ask them to talk with the school. If the parents are intelligent, aware, good, generous, not cruel, they would do that. Otherwise, the one that see here where I am, they want more homework. If the teacher doesn't give enough, why your teacher didn't give enough homework? Do you have homework? Why only this? Why your teacher don't give so much homework? And then they pressure the school end up giving extra homework. The kids end up crazy. Some of them even contemplate suicide because of these narcissistic parents. You think that's going to do any good? Even if they did talk with the school, nothing could happen. Yeah, and if they talk, because they are at cohorts with the school. These parents nowadays, new generation, no good. It's all like android or aliens. I don't like them. You don't know that. That's what you think, but you don't know that. The most debilitating thing you can do in life is to not try something because you think you already know how everything is going to turn out. This stops the energy from flowing even before it has a chance to start. Don't stop yourself before you start. That's correct. Don't give up. You don't know that. That's what you think, but you don't know that. Yeah, you must try to make changes. The most debilitating thing you can do in life is not to try something because you think you already know how everything is going to turn out. But certain thing you know already. The certain thing that's already like predictable. For example, I want my stains in the back to be removed because I'm okay. The stone I felt that pass out already, but they want to make it a big deal so to earn more money and to touch the person. I I already talked to them more than 6 times. Even went to the ER, the emergency room. Waited there from morning till night, 9 p.m. night to have it removed. In the end, they didn't. All they did was take urine count, and wait, and dress him. That's all. And at the end, they have to pay a hefty sum of $200. Okay, this is what they do. And then after that, when I couldn't talk to them, I went to the doctor office and I I requested to have this thing removed from my back because it's giving so much like not just discomfort, but it's limiting my activities. My life is not like normal. I have found difficulty to do my jogging, to do my exercise, yoga, etc. So what he said, we'll take, but on July, and that means it would be almost 5 months later when this kind of stent, PCN stent, is removed after 1 to 2 weeks. Okay, because the stone passed out already. So he said he would take out only if I agree to do another operation which is very invasive and internal. I said no, no, I don't want. Then he didn't call me anymore. I called them, they don't want to answer me. I emailed them, they don't want to answer back. But only asked me to pay the last charge. I'm not gonna pay because I'm not gonna pay for something that harms me. And when I pay something that helps, not harm, and this thing have done nothing but harm in my body. Okay, so I have tried, and I go for a second opinion, go to another hospital. Over there, the same thing: urine count, blood count, uh, what they call scanning, computerized scanning, so many things, and then mess again, probing the wound behind, and nothing is done. In fact, it will hurt even more your organs inside and your wound. In the end, they said if I wanted to remove, I'll have to make an appointment and then not remove immediately, but do another procedure, which is very, very, very invasive. It's called uroscopy when those stones already pass out. You understand how crooked they are, how corrupted these people are in evil. And then I'm contemplating sue them for it, and that's the last resort. I'm going to talk to them personally again. I'm gonna bargain them with his office this week. They don't do, they will shout because I want this stress out of my body. My uh, it's my rights. It's my body. It's my right. I have not paid to have this stress. I don't want this. So you see, what I'm trying to say is that not everything that you try will end up as you wish. My son say, let's go there. Maybe get another second opinion. Maybe go to work. I say, I don't know. I have the feeling that it won't work out. And really didn't work out because I told my son they will have terms and have terms and conditions in order, and before they contemplating removing it from me. And exactly as I told my son happened. They will do only if I agree to another operation. So as to give them more jobs, more trainings, and more money. And I'm not gonna do it. So waste time going for second opinion. So the most and another thing send give you drugs that give you allergy and a very bad reaction that could even make you lame, render you lame because it will mess your circulatory system. The most debilitating thing you can do in life is not to try something because you think that already know how everything is going to turn out. No sense. But it will, most of the time it does happen. So you are going for maybe that job interview, that course, that training. You go that tournament, so happy, so confident, only to disappointed because you didn't get or you lose or whatever. You see? So that's how thing most of the time is. So you cannot be so overconfident, neither too pessimistic or optimistic. So this stops the energy from flowing even before it has a chance to start. Don't stop yourself before you start. Remember that always. Don't stop yourself before you start. When you stop yourself before you start, you are sure to get nowhere. Then you can make yourself right. That's nonsense. It doesn't always work this way. You knew all along that you were not going to get anywhere, and you didn't. You're not very happy, but at least you can say you were right. This attitude is what allows people who are not very happy to stay unhappy. It is what allows people who are angry to stay angry because it doesn't work out. And you go there so optimistic, so happy, think that things will turn up okay the way we want, and it doesn't. So how to explain this? It's what allows people who are not getting anywhere to keep not getting anywhere. No, no, no. It's not as you said. Think positively. Think positive doesn't help nobody. We do think positively, but most of the time it turns out not good. Throw negative thinking away. Positive thinking actually has a physical effect on life. It sends up vibes. It moves energy around in a particular way. It creates positive outcomes. Not always. And I'm sure these kids have tried and they know the outcome. That's why they don't keep on trying. Because it's either the parents' criticism, the school criticism, and his peers' criticism. Even some of his peers, their peers, doesn't understand or hears them. I don't know whether to hang with the popular preppy kids or the cast of grungy kids. Grungy kids. Why does everyone have to separate like that? Mary 16. Separate is a way of seeking identity. For young people, this feels particularly urgent. All of life is a process of defining yourself, of deciding who you are. And it's not different in school. But remember what I said earlier when the discussion was about pressure in school. Don't do anything that does not feel like you just to be a member of a group. Yeah, peer pressure. Nobody like peer pressure. Why not you choose not to be exclusive with one group or the other? Be yourself. It feels as though you'd like to spend some time with one group. Do it. If it feels as though you'd like to spend time with the other, do it. But no, they don't accept always eyes, some people. Don't let either group co-opt you. Groups separate, individuals unite. It's the job of groups to separate. That's what makes them groups. That's my practical answer. Would you like to hear my spiritual answer? Sure. It's not necessary to separate from one another in order to find one's identity, but it sometimes seems that way to people who are living deeply within the illusion of disunity. Better to be separated than some time together just to have toxicity all around, shouting, stress, disagreement, etc. This illusion holds that unity is not the nature of things, but rather disunity. Better because you have your peace of mind when you do that. Better than be in a group and I see only shouting matches, disagreements, etc. Unless it's a group who is okay, aware group, not just a carefree groups where everybody's monkey play like a fool, laughing and doing stupid monkey business for what? According to this theory, everything separate with individuals' identities, purposes, and functions. So, people believe that separation is necessary for them to be able to fully know themselves. In fact, exactly the opposite is true. Hey, okay, wait. We have to unite to gain an experience about how to deal and learn from those experiences and how to deal with these people, if society, if group. group consciousness, etc. However, if a group consciousness is leading you to the way they want you to go and the way they want you to be, then don't follow. Stop in your track. Stop it before it's too late. Stop. Don't listen to everything that you hear here or you hear from outside. Okay. Try to be the best in group. Try to help, be generous, cooperate. Don't be selfish. That's the key for group unity and a group consistency. However, if what you get is just the people pushing you around, taking chances on you, take advantages of you, then for your peace of mind, I would advise you to get away from that group before it's too late. You don't see the cult groups, what they do? They lead people astray. They lead people to suicide, collective suicide, or even polygamy and all that. Why you do want that? And then they use you as a slave to work for them for free. And you live in bunkers there, and even in a community, but for what? At what price? You are not free. You don't have your individual freedom. For what? You have a collective hive kind of existence living this way, and then you may follow the majority who think similar and not going to think different, and they will lead you, and you become one more fool of the court. You turn up to be. What do you mean? I mean that it is in unity, not in disunity, that your true identity will be found. It is in oneness, not in separation, that your real self will be experienced. It is in oneness, not in hey, hello, you talk about hive mentality like the Grace, the aliens, Federation, Confederation, etc., the UN, all this group consciousness that lead to a certain outcome which not is not always pleasant to the rest, that is left behind or for the mass which does not belong to that group. Okay, so no, I don't recommend that. I mean, whoever want children usually want kids, want group consciousness, see a group. Okay, if you service you, fine, because you have so much to learn from one another. It's fine, because you need to learn also as you go along in life. You need to learn. But if peace of your mind is what you want, when that group is not serving you anymore, to lead you, give you what you you need to have, then it's better to be alone. Everything is not separate. Things do not have individual identities, purposes, and functions. If I told you that your purpose and functions is the same as the tree outside your window, then it is the same as the mountain covered with snow or the ocean lapping at the shore. Would you believe me? Probably not. Good boy, good. Yet, it is. You'd have to explain that to me. The purpose and function of the tree is growth, and that is your purpose and functions as well. It's the purpose and function of all of life. So why are you complaining about school life, about conventions, etc.? When you think, when you condone them, and then you think that what they are doing is correct, why do you condone them? No, yeah. Why you then criticize them? You are bipolar. So you are growing into the grandest version of the greatest vision you ever had about who you are. So is the tree. The only difference is you know it, and the tree does not. You know it is at a conscious level, whereas the tree's level of consciousness is not the same as yours. You are aware of yourself. That is, you are self-conscious compared to the tree. You are more highly evolved being, but you are both up to the same thing. You are growing to the grandest best of the grandest vision you ever heard about who you are. So is the tree. The only difference is you know it and the tree does not. You know it's a conscious level, whereas the tree's level of consciousness is not the same as yours. You are aware of yourself, that is, you are self conscious compared to the tree. You are more highly evolved being, but you are both up to the same thing. I got it when the tree, I don't get it with the mountain or the ocean. You don't get that the mountain and the ocean are growing? No, if anything, they are getting smaller. Oh, I see. You increase growth with getting bigger. And you do not? Growth and evolution is in form. The mountain is changing all the time, so is the ocean. So is all of life. All change is growth. This is what evolution is about. Bigger does not necessarily mean better. Things can grow smaller and be said to have greatly evolved. I never thought of it that way. Well, that's the beauty of all really stimulation conversation. It invites you to think of things in new ways. I have the worst biology teacher in the history of the world. I'm falling asleep in there. What I'm going to do? And don't say change classes because I've already tried that and there aren't any other options. Then 16, good boy, New York City. Talk with the teacher. Tell the teacher that you just aren't getting it and ask what you can do, maybe even outside of the class to help yourself without making the teacher wrong. Tell the teacher that you are having a hard time keeping your interest up in class and ask the teacher if there are any special projects or methods or experiments that you could use to stay more into what's being done. Talk to some other students and see if anyone is having an easier time of it than you. If you find a few, you probably will ask the teacher if you could team with some of those students now and name a project or assignment. First, ask the student if that would be all right. This might not only be a way to enliven your experience of the class. It might also be a way for you to get to know some other kids a lot better. Talk to your parents about it and see if they have any suggestions. Go to your school counselor as well. Whatever you do, don't just complain about it, but do not think about it and let the reason that you do not do well in class. And let that be the reason that you do not do well in class. Some of the kids are cheating in class and on tests. They want me to join them. Actually, could use a little assistance on my geometry tests. And I suppose I could offer some to a few of my friends who are not doing well in the classes that I like. Social studies and French, for instance. But I know that cheating is wrong, so Marshall, 16, New Orleans. There is no such thing as right and wrong, as you discussed earlier. There is only what works and what doesn't work, given what you are trying to do. Great! What I'm trying to do is pass geometry. Is that all? What do you mean, is that all? Is there nothing more you're trying to do? I don't think so. I think there is, although you may not be conscious of it. So, what is it you think that I'm trying to do? You are deciding who you are. You are defining yourself in every single moment. That is what every human being is doing. You keep in say that. The thing is, once you understand what you are really doing on this planet, rather than what it looks like you are doing, when you buy into the illusion, everything changes. The question changes. The question is no longer, should I cheat on my exam or can I get away with cheating? The question becomes, is cheater who I really am? Am I a person who cannot be trusted? Is this who I want to be? Ah, that's nonsense. I don't know what about this. How the word cheats? My daddy probably cheats on his income tax. Good boy. Keep on saying that. And you can be like half of the word. A word, by the way, that you have more than once criticized for not being what you wanted to be. Or you can be the change you would like to see in the world, but not in this aspect. Come on now, don't be so arrogant here. So the L good, the L do nothing wrong. Oh, come on, man. L perfect. You're not even perfect. Go complain about what you have seen here about group consciousness that leads people even astray most of the time and destroy people into commit suicide. Okay, and talk about nonsense group when it's better to stay alone most of the time. And there's nothing wrong in stay alone anyway. So don't talk nonsense here. So that's all for chapter 14.